Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are live for today's Saturday Madness as we read the Quran and destroy some brain cells. And we're picking up, I think, chapter 26, verse 111. We will not finish that tonight, I guarantee you. It's still another 116 verses. Might be able to get through half of it. Hopefully, Brother Usama will be here. Leah will be here. Jesus, if you want to come up, I will post the link. But before we do anything, let's start off with an intro. Alrighty, enough of the intro. I feel like the announcer on a wrestling. Let's get ready to rumble. All right, let me just give Jesus the link. Yeah,
Hey,
Brother
thanks, Ty.
James is here. Here's the link. Okay, Paul, let me put that up on that's a stream. Okay, we got that. I'm gonna go over here to the other screen. Yeah, God bless Dink. Okay, so 111. But before we do that, I don't want Osama to get pissed off at me.
We got to read that heading.
Yeah, we got to read that big, bold. Evidently, Muhammad was not aware of who the believers of Noah were. According to the Bible, they were only his wife, his 3 sons, and his sons' wives. Yeah, I mean, oh,
So the other guys all perished, right? Not
yeah.
according to the Quran.
And before I go anywhere else, let me load up another Sama. Let me go to chapter 27. Ooh, next one is the ants. Okay, all right. And let me go see. Oops. For a chapter that's got 227 verses, I'm surprised there's only four non-Arabic words. Okay. They said, of course, we don't even know who's they said. We wouldn't even know that this is about Noah until we get to 116. Okay. They said, will we believe in you and your followers are the lowest, the lowliest? Will we believe in you and your followers are the lowest? Who's he talking about?
Will we believe in you and your what? Yeah, that's a good question. Believe in who?
I don't know. He said, but I have no knowledge of what they were doing. Who's that?
We don't know who they are, much less.
Yes. Well, I know.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let's try and go back and see if there's anything up here, just to be nice. Let's see if there's anything up here that tells us they're talking about Noah. Okay, wait a minute. Okay,
the story of Noah. The people of Noah.
So we know we're talking about. So we can say they're talking about Noah. But we don't know who they are.
I guess
there's no they. I mean, there's.
Oh, there's Larry.
There's nothing here that implies there's a they. Hey, Larry.
Hey, fellas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He said, I'm assuming that's Noah saying he said, but I have no knowledge of what they were doing. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was his people. You trying to tell me he doesn't know what his people were doing? Their judgment is only on my Lord. If you feel what
does that mean? What if you feel what?
I have no clue, but this is Allah.
If you feel good, if you feel bad, there's no if you feel what.
I don't know, man. If you feel like taking a dump, I mean, who knows?
Well, it could have been
114.
the only thing I can say is that could have been an expression. I mean, it could have been if you feel could have been an expression you would say at the end of a sentence, but just unusual.
It's also stupid because now in 114, now I see what Osama was saying. Now Noah is saying, and I am not driving away the believers.
Wait a minute.
How many believers were they? So Allah drowned the believers? Because I know they all didn't fit in the ark. And then he goes on to say that I am except a plain warner. They said, now these are people that are believers. Maybe he's trying to say, I'm not driving away the believers, like saying, these people are unbelievers, so I'm not driving them away. I mean, I don't know. They said, now, unless you desist, O Noah, you will become of the stone. Man, they must have some good stuff back then.
You're going to be so stoned, you're going to be drowned, and you won't know it.
I'm telling you. 117, he said, my Lord, so I guess now he's talking to Allah, surely my people denied me. So
it's not denied. Okay, that's where it gets silly. Noah would never care if they denied him. It's the denying of God. This is where, again, what do you expect from the Quran?
All right, so 118, so fat, meaning judge, except it's a non-Arabic word, maybe of Ethiopian origin, between me and them, judging, and deliver me and the believers who are with me. Well, how many believers were with Noah?
You've got 3 sons, 3 wives. That's 6, and you got a wife. That's 7.
8.
That's
8
7.
with Noah. No, you got Noah.
So 7 with him. That makes 8 altogether.
Right.
Yeah.
119. So we delivered him and those who were with him in the loaded ship. Oh, man. You mean it's not an empty ship? And the ship was loaded with what? We don't know. Then we drowned the rest after that. Surely in this is a sign, and most of them were not believers. So is he trying to say that some of them were believers and he still drowned them?
That's what I was wondering. That's what it sounds like to me.
It sounds to me like Allah doesn't care if you believe or not. He's not going to save you.
I mean, any person with a rational mind and at least 2 brain cells, when they read 121, surely this is a sign, and most of them were not believers.
Oh, wait, don't stop till you get to the end of 122. Keep going.
And surely your Lord, he is the dear, the merciful.
How could he be merciful if he's killing the people who believe in him?
I mean, either you're a believer or you're not a believer. And I thought believers don't get drowned, but apparently, I got to use
this
one.
In Allah's world, they do.
I gotta use this one tomorrow in my debate with a whole bunch of Muslims on Clubhouse. It was supposed to be me and one Muslim. Next thing I know, he's saying, "Oh, I'm gonna bring some friends." I'm like, "Okay, is this gonna be a gang up on kufrophobia?"
What time?
10, it's supposed to be 10 o'clock.
All right, cool.
Yeah, he wanted me to go, but this is on Clubhouse.
All right.
I may try to stream it. I'll have to see. Yeah, so we're supposed to debate Quranic claims. So, ladies and gentlemen, Allah drowned some believers.
Nice. He's a nice little God. He doesn't care who follows him.
Here we go again. The story of Ad was invented by Muhammad and repeated once again. Ladies and gentlemen,
this is like the story of the people of Id.
Yeah, but do you notice how the stories get embellished?
Oh, yeah.
Some details get added that weren't in the previous version.
Yeah, they're always. He never seems to get his story straight. It's always different.
Well, it starts off with a problem. Ad denied the messengers. How many messengers did Allah send to Ad?
Wait.
I thought it was just one.
So Ad gets more than one. What, they must be special.
Okay. And when their brother Hood, man, Hood had a big family. And when their maybe they're, maybe it's Hood's brother in humanity or something. I don't see Osama. Nope. Are you sure he's coming?
He said he would.
Maybe he's running late like my boss this morning.
Well, he's got family visiting, so we'll see.
So I told my boss, bring me some donuts. And when their brotherhood said to them, will you not fear? Surely I am a faithful messenger to you. So fear Allah and obey me. And I do not ask you any wage for it. My wage is not but on the Lord of the worlds.
Asking.
Right.
So what? I mean, this is kind of weird. So, did we go straight from Noah to this?
Yes,
we don't
we did.
even know who's. Do we know who's talking here? I denied the messenger. When their brother Hood said to them, will you not fear? Surely I'm. So we've got Hood talking here. So fear Allah. But where did Ad come out of? I mean, where does it come from? Is this some place that they believe existed after Noah got out of the ark? I mean, there's nothing. There's no transitional statement here.
Your guess is good. Well, there's no transitional anything in the Quran. It just It's like
I mean, we call those segues when you're talking about going from one story to another. Yeah,
it's like a bout of bad diarrhea, man. It just comes out. Okay, I do not take any wages from you. Do you build in every high place a wasteful masterpiece?
Does that even make sense?
No.
What's it talking about?
No clue. Now, let me ask you a question. It sounds like that this particular city, location, whatever, this location of Ad that doesn't exist, apparently they had buildings. So why haven't we found any archaeological evidence for a city named Ad or people from Ad?
I mean, maybe he thinks Babylon is odd. I don't know, because that's the only thing I can think of that had something high. I mean, that's the Tower of Babel. Maybe that's his thought process.
Well, then 129 says, and you take castles, perhaps you will live forever. So apparently they must have had castles back in the days of Ad. Okay. And when you attack powerfully. Attacked who? Who's attacking? So fear Allah and obey me. Didn't we just read that above?
Not today, I don't think, did we?
Yeah, we just read it. It was just, and fear Allah and obey me. That was right here and right here. So fear Allah and obey me. Right after 126.
126. I'm sorry.
126 is repeated again in 131.
He can't help but repeat himself because he doesn't. And this is again the small vocabulary of a limited mind.
We should call the Quran the book of repetition.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, we know it's a clear as mud book.
The clearest mud book of repetition. There we go. The clearest mud book of repetition. That's what we'll call it.
Oh, there you go. I like that one. I may have to create a T-shirt with that. Okay, and fear who aided you in what you know. Okay.
Fear what?
I don't know.
Who aided who?
I guess Allah aided them by giving them livestock, and He aided you with livestock and sons. How come Allah never says daughters?
He aided you with livestock. Apparently, the girls don't count, even if they're cooking dinner. I'm sorry, that's great aid. Where someone comes, I come home and someone's cooked dinner or done something else. I don't care what it is. Whatever the person's done, it doesn't matter, male or female, that's aid.
I mean, it would be, Allah wouldn't look so, misogynistic if He would say, and He aided you with livestock and offspring. That way it could be male or female, but it's always sons, never daughters. And gardens and springs. Where are these gardens? Because these
How do the gardens aid you?
I don't know. Well, I mean, the gardens,
provide food.
They provide.
But how does
food,
the spring aid you?
And the springs provide you a drink.
Okay, but
where are these gardens and springs? Because we're not talking about paradise.
We're not talking about Mecca, that's for sure.
Unless you're going to have unless Allah's going to have livestock in paradise.
I have no clue.
So where? Because we know the Arabia didn't have gardens and springs. Maybe, I don't know, a couple 100,000 years ago, maybe. I mean, who knows? Surely I fear for you a torment of the great day. They said, it is the same to us if you preach or if you were not of the preachers. This is only the custom of the ancients. So basically, they're giving them the middle finger. Said, listen, I mean, we're not going to listen to you. And we will not be tormented. I guess they're telling Allah, you can't do crap on us. Ha, ha, ha. So they denied him. So we destroyed him. Who's we?
Who's we? Who's they? I mean, we got the people of Ad. We know up above. They're talking about Ad. All right.
Oh, look at this.
I'm here.
So they denied him, so we destroyed him. Surely this is a sign, and most of them were not believers. Again, Allah destroyed believers. And
so he destroys the people that follow him.
Yeah. And notice it's just a copy and paste of what he just said for Noah.
And this is word for word again. This verse 140 over and over and over again.
And surely your Lord is the dear and the merciful. I guarantee if we go back up here to Noah, it's going to say the same thing.
Surely your Lord is the dear, the merciful. There it is.
Yeah, right there, 122. And most of them were not believed. Now, the next one is probably going to say the same thing.
Wait. I want to go back up. One more. I did highlight that last one. Where he?
But why are you telling me to go up? It's your screen.
I know. I'm going up. I wanted to show where he killed off the people earlier. Or sorry, where was it earlier? Yeah, it's 121. And this is a sign, and most of them were not believers. So he killed off people earlier. So now he has no problem killing them off again. Oh my gosh, this small God doesn't care about his own people.
Okay, so we went from Noah to Ad, and now we're back to Tammud. The story of Tammud was invented by Muhammad and repeated once again. Okay, starts off with the same crap as the other one. Tammud denied the messengers. How many messengers were sent to Tammud? I want to know their names because Allah says, and to every community, to every nation, whatever, we send a messenger. Now it's talking about messengers. And then we go. And when their brother Salih said to them...
Wait. Then these messengers must have been family members to Salih, which would mean they're all family.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's impossible for Salih to be the brother of everybody in Tammud. I mean, it could be a reference, maybe that's how they spoke back in those days.
Well, Salih must be the one that didn't go out of the messengers. So he wasn't selected.
And when their brother Salih said to them, will you not fear? Again, all Allah does is just change the names. He changed Ad to Tammud. He changed Hud to Salih or Salah.
Let me show that.
Will you not fear?
And when the Hud said to them, will you not fear? And again, take a look. And when the brothers said to them, will you not fear? Verse 43, surely I am a faithful messenger to you. Let's see if you did it up here. Surely I'm a faithful messenger to you. Allah's good at repeating. Next one.
Fear Allah and obey me.
Again. Oh, does it say that again?
Yeah. And I do not
fear Allah and obey me. Yeah.
And 145. And I do not ask you any wage for it. My wage is bit on the Lord of the worlds.
Okay, stop right there. Let's go up. And I do not. There it is. Word for word the same. Do not build in every high place a wasteful masterpiece. Let's go down here.
Now you notice how every prophet says exactly the same crap.
But there's no building here.
Yeah. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe in Talmud they lived in tents. Okay. So 146. Will you be left secure in what is here? We don't know what is here. And gardens and springs, and the plants and palm trees with tender shoots of flowers.
We're definitely not talking Arabia.
Yeah. And you carve skillful houses in the mountains. Ooh. So Talmud must be Petra. What do we find?
Definitely someplace on the east coast of the Mediterranean.
Where do we find things carved into the mountain? Petra. And you carved skilled houses in the mountains. So fear Allah and obey me. Another repetition.
Oh, let me show it. Okay, so fear Allah and obey. Okay. There it is right there. So fear, verse 131. Look at that.
I'm having a hankering for some ice cream. Some cookie dough ice cream.
Well, for verse 32, for the following verse, does it say, and fear who aided you in what you know? Let's see.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, and do not obey. It's a little different.
Yeah.
I guess he's forgetting what he said before.
Yeah, and do not obey the command of the extravagant, which we don't know what that is. Oh. Those who vandalized on the earth and do not reform.
So,
okay, so I guess the extravagant.
We don't know what vandalizing the earth is here.
Yeah.
And reform means to return to what you once were. Really? I mean, he doesn't. Yeah, this is really confusing.
153. They said, surely you are only from the bewitched. It seems a lot of Allah's prophets are bewitched.
Well,
you
I mean,
are
if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Okay, again, we find this being repeated over and over. You are only a human like us, so bring a sign if you were of the truthful. He said, this is a camel. To her a drink, and to you a drink. A known day. That makes no sense. What? They've never seen a camel before? Is she like the first camel? And do not touch her with evil, so the torment of a great day will overtake you. So they hamstrung her.
Hamstrung her. So they cut her. Yeah, that just doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that to a camel?
So they became regretful.
Duh. Okay.
So the torment seized them. Surely, and this is a sign, and most of them were not believers.
Oh, look at that. We got that. Most of them were not believers again.
But how come Allah didn't destroy? Oh, yeah, he seized. Okay, torment seized them. Okay.
So but wait a minute. I mean, we still don't. I don't know how the people get tormented because they did damage to the camel. Did they not think they were going to cause harm to the camel? I mean, they're all it just doesn't make sense.
Maybe they were hungry, man. They wanted some camel, camel
steaks.
Yeah, some camel steaks, some camel ham hocks. And again, he tormented, a torment seized some people that were believers, because it says, and most of them were not believers, meaning some of them were believers that he tormented.
Oh, Allah likes to torment people.
And surely your Lord, he is the dear and the merciful. Again, repeating again.
There it is up there.
Oh my God. What is the name of this stupid chapter?
Then it is up here too.
Here we go.
The 3 times in a row he repeats himself.
The story of Lot is copied from the Bible, corrupted and repeated once again.
Let's see. 160. The people of Lot denied the messengers. Okay, we're going to go up. Thamud, right?
It's just repeating.
Thamud denied the messengers. Let's go up to Ad. Ad denied the messengers. Yeah. Let's go up one more time. This is Noah. Oh, they don't have that one there. Okay. I mean, this is just
notice with Lot, it's a little different, but basically the same crap.
yeah.
Whereas with Od, it didn't say the people of Od, it just said Od.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to Lot, it says the people of Lot denied the messenger. Again, what messengers? Why are all these people getting messengers? When their brother Lot said to them, that's straight copy, will you not fear?
Yeah.
Surely I am a faithful messenger to you. Again, the same thing. So fear Allah and obey me. Ladies and gentlemen, just take all the other prophets that we just read. Noah, odds.
Okay, just show it to everybody. Look at. I'm going to highlight this again. Get my mouse here to highlight it. The great copy artist, the great copy and paste artist before copy and paste were invented. Take a look. When their brother Lot said to them, "Will you not fear? Surely I'm a faithful messenger to you. So fear Allah and obey." Look, go up here. Their brother Salah said, "Will you not fear? Surely I'm a faithful messenger to you." That's Tamud. And brother, will you not fear? Surely I'm a faithful messenger to you. So fear Allah and obey me. So look at that. I mean, just word for word.
This would be a great
artist.
This would be a great demonstration of Allah's.
We'd call that plagiarism in other sources,
Allah's perfect
or
copy
how
and
not
paste.
to do it, how not to write something.
Yes. So the people of Lot denied the messenger when their brother Lot said to them, will you not fear? Surely I am a faithful messenger to you. So fear Allah and obey me, and I do not ask you any wage for it, for my wage is but on the Lord of the worlds. And do not enter into the homosexuality, because number 4 says have sex in a homosexual lifestyle.
Oh, wow.
And do not enter into the males from the worlds, and forsaking what your Lord created for you, I guess. Yes, for you from your wives.
So we're talking about, wow, that's talking about having sex with women and getting children as a result. That's what it sounds like.
Yet you are a transgressing people. Now, notice that this one has a little bit more detail than the other 3 that we read. Oh my God, not again. Okay, they said, "Oh Lot, if you do not desist, you will become of the expelled." That means they're going to kick the, I guess they're going to do the same thing to him that they did to Muhammad. They're going to kick him out. He said, "Surely I am of those who detest what you are doing. My Lord, deliver me and my family from what they do." Now this is Allah. So we delivered him and his whole family together, except an elder among those who tarried. Now remember, in the other story, who did Allah say except? Lot's wife. Now in 71 it says except an elder among those who tarried. Where's the wife?
Well, we don't know who tarried.
Well,
it sounds like there's a whole bunch of family members.
The elder is the one. Oh my God! This is.
So she's the older woman.
I guess, but how? But it doesn't say it's his wife. That makes a difference. Who is this elder woman? Well, actually, we don't even know if it's a man or a female. It's just an elder. It could be either or. But the other one was very clear. It was his wife. Then we destroyed the others, and we rained on them.
Yeah, this is the part that makes me laugh. We rained on them what, Dr. Kufar? What did they rain on them?
I guess it was just rain.
Okay, so let me ask everybody.
They got wet.
We just had Hurricane Ian down there. Did the people get physically hurt by the rain? I mean, I'm sorry. When you're outside and it rains rain, I mean, I know it can come down really, really, really hard. But 99, I mean, can you imagine? I mean, that just makes me laugh. I'm sorry. Being rain on, and he couldn't, it's just, yeah. It's not, there's no creative use of words here. Like Mr. Limited Vocabulary strikes again.
Let's see. And we rained on them the rain, so evil is the reign of the warned.
Okay. This is why we have Muhammad running out naked whenever it rains. He thinks it's evil.
Here goes the repetitive part. Surely this is a sign, and most of them were not believers. Again.
Let me highlight that one because it keeps showing up.
Allah just destroyed some believers along with the non-believers.
Oh, he likes to kill off his own believers.
And surely your Lord, he is the dear, the merciful. Again, another copy. And here we go. The same crap with a little twist. The dwellers of the woods denied the messengers. When Shwaib...
Hey, wait, you missed that. The dark part there. The story of Sheba was invented by Muhammad and repeated once again. Yeah.
Yes, this is a repetition.
Hey, you know what?
The woods.
I'm starting to wonder, what is actually the problem here? Is it the people that are the problem and don't listen? Or is it Allah sending these stupid messengers that can't convey a good message?
Well, Larry,
I think Allah's message just sucks.
Larry, when you have to send 124,000 messengers, don't you think that there's something wrong with your message?
Yeah, I mean, people can be dumb, but I mean, people aren't that stupid.
Okay, look at.
But here's a problem. He keeps saying that he sent messengers, not a messenger, but messengers. So all these people got multiple messengers. But that goes against the Quran where Allah says to every nation or to every people, we send a messenger in their own tongue so that they can understand. So,
well, I mean, the only thing he's clearly communicating is that his messengers are so stupid that no one should listen to him. That's the only thing he's clearly communicating. And if anybody listens to him, they have a good chance of getting killed anyways.
Right. So now he repeats the same thing, but now it says, the dwellers of the woods denied the messengers. When Shwaib said to them, so now we have Hud, we have Salah, and Shwaib. Now these are three Arabic prophets. Nobody's ever heard of these people anywhere.
Well, that's the other thing I've been thinking about lately. Why is Muhammad revealing stories of the Jewish prophets? Because they would have they would know nothing of the Jewish prophets, I would think. But then he's mixing in the Arab prophets too. I mean, to me, that's very confusing and don't make any sense.
Well, it shows evidence that he's not of the Jewish people, that's for sure. Yeah.
And here we go repeating again. When Shwaib said to them, will you not fear? Surely I am a faithful messenger to you. So fear Allah and obey me. Now this one they threw in, and I do not ask you any wage for it. My wage is but of the Lord of the worlds.
But he says that over and over again.
Yes. I mean, he is just repeating.
We're just going to go up and show everybody again.
Same crap.
Where's that wage? And I do not ask any wage, Lord of the worlds. See that right there? Go up. That's for a lot. That's okay. Go up again. Where's the wage part here? I do not ask. Here we go. Lord of the worlds. All right. I do not ask wage, Lord of the worlds. That's for Tamud. I mean, come on. I mean, doesn't this guy have a creative bone in his body? I mean, this should be, if this is by Allah, don't you think Allah would know?
You missed 127.
Yeah.
Actually, you can highlight everything from 123 to 127 because it's all the same crap that gets repeated.
Yeah.
Pretty much verbatim, word for word. Now, some of them, it might, like for instance, it says, denied the messengers. And then it goes, the people of, Tamud. Okay. Yep. So it's kind of like the same crap.
Yeah. Tamud denied the messengers. Faithful okay. You got a brother coming along. Will you not fear? You got a person saying they're a faithful messenger. So fear Allah and obey me. And I don't ask for a wage, but on the Lord of the worlds. So we go down here. We got to hear that all over again. There's the story of Lot. all over again. And then we get down to Sheba, the same exact stuff. And I don't ask for wage. This author has such a limited vocabulary, limited mind. He can't. This is where I'm saying, with critical thinking skills, you would think something's wrong with a person who's doing the writing because they're so limited. There's no.
And I was wrong, Paul. We will finish this chapter.
Wow. Now you know why it's so. Now you know why it's long. I mean, it's because it's tiresome.
Okay, so when Schwab, okay, and do not ask for any, okay, fulfill the measure. Okay, so this is a little bit different. Fulfill the measure and do not be of those who give less. Okay, weigh with the straight balance. Now this was repeated some other place. And do not defraud people their things.
Really?
And do not.
Isn't Muhammad a raider? Doesn't he steal?
Of course. No, but he was only stealing back the stuff that was stolen from him. That's what Muslims tell you. Okay. Fulfill the measure and do not be of those who give less. Weigh with the straight balance. And do not defraud the people. And do not defraud people their things. And do not act wickedly in the land. Vandalize.
Vandalizing what? And what is the vandalizing that they're doing?
I don't know. Again, another incomplete sentence of Allah.
You know, maybe they got spray paint back then and they went and spray painted the grass. I mean, I have no clue.
Yeah, I got a feeling they took some camel dung and splattered all over the walls. Okay, 184. In fear who created you and the ancient generations. Okay.
Why are you supposed to fear
Yes?
Why are you supposed to fear the ancient generations? That sounds a bit strange too.
This is where I keep talking about. I mean, there's things here that refer to other cultures that are. I mean, this is the stuff that gets me. I mean, we've had references that imply a belief in reincarnation. Now we're getting into a belief that sounds almost like Shintoism. I mean, again, the reincarnation culture has some veneration to older generations, but that's more into the Asian faith structures, where you venerate your past generations. It's like, yeah. I mean, it just sits there. It makes you wonder what's going on. And this is where you got to remember, they have all these different gods in this part of the world. They don't have a. I wouldn't surprise me that they had named. I mean, you look at the Greek mythology. They knew who the Greek gods were. I mean, if you read, I think it was Justin Martyr or Tertullian, he actually names who Zeus came from. They knew who it was. And, just look at this. I mean, venerating ancient generations. It's, yeah.
Well, Larry, I that verse where it says, in fear who created you and the ancient generations, I don't believe it's saying that you should fear the ancient generations, but the one who created you and the ancient generations.
Oh, okay. That would make sense.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of,
right.
I don't know. I just look at it as just kind of off.
Now, again, we have another prophet of Allah who's bewitched or is accused of being bewitched.
Yeah, this is 2 in this section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said, surely you are only of the bewitched. Oh, and here we go again. And you are only a human like us. And we think that you are surely among the liars.
Well, you know what? They might be right.
Oh, this is funny. 187. So drop on us a part of the heaven if you were of the truthful.
So
what part of the heaven?
For a sign. Did he give him a sign?
No. Well, we know he definitely didn't drop part of the heavens on them because you can't drop.
No Chicken Little running around, right?
So he said, "My Lord knows best what you do." Okay, so that's the best he can do. So they denied him. So the torment seized them on the covering day.
Do we even know what the covering day is?
No. Surely it was a day of great torment.
So covering day is supposed to be a day of great torment. Okay.
And then Allah repeats himself again. Surely, and this is a sign and most of them were not believers.
Allah's into killing his own people again.
Surely your Lord, he is the dear, the merciful. Every time I say he is the dear, I am thinking of a deer, like a real deer. Okay, the entire Quran exists in the Bible, the ancient scriptures. I don't think so, but okay, let's see. 192. And surely this is descendant from the Lord of the worlds, descendant by the faithful Spirit on your heart, so that you may be among the warners. Who's he talking to? With a clear Arabic tongue. So this is Allah talking to Muhammad, or Jibril talking to Muhammad. I don't know. And surely it is in the ancient scriptures. When Muslims say that the Bible has been corrupted, Allah is saying that it's in the ancient scriptures. Or was it not a sign to them that the scholars of the children of Israel know it?
Oh. Wait, that's only possible if they have the word of God. I mean, that's what it comes down to. The ancient scriptures would be the Torah, the Ketubim. I mean, it's a very bland statement, the scriptures. So the Torah, the Navim, and the Ketubim. So we're talking about all of that. That's, I mean, wow. And this could also imply the whole Bible.
Okay, so Allah says basically that that whatever he's talking about.
Well, he said children of Israel, so we'll just say the Torah, the Torah, the law, the prophets, and the writings. That's what we're talking about.
So basically, Allah is saying, but wait a minute, Muhammad didn't have a Quran.
Yeah.
He had revelations, but something descended from the Lord of the worlds, descended by the faithful spirits. I mean, Allah couldn't say Jibril if he wanted to, on your heart, with a clear Arabic tongue. Okay, so does the Quran have a tongue? Or
I know what's bad is that there's nothing clear in the.
You know what? I just learned something. Jibril was an Arabic speaker. How else would he have communicated the revelations to Muhammad, who was an Arabic speaker? So that means Allah is also an Arabic speaker, but none of his other prophets were Arabic speakers. Moses wasn't an Arabic speaker.
Oh, maybe this is the special I'm sorry. Maybe this is. I mean, you have to sit here and wonder why none of this is clear. Why does he have to keep claiming it's clear?
I don't know. And he's saying that it's an Arabic tongue. And then he goes on to say, surely it is in the ancient scriptures, okay? Or was it not? Okay, 198. If we had sent it down on some foreigner, meaning if he sent down the Quran to someone who didn't speak Arabic, so he had read it to them, but that's in the past. What the hell?
So he had read it to them, and they were not to believe in it.
But if this is talking
down on some foreigner,
but this is talking about the Quran, but yet Allah's talking here in the past.
How do we know we're talking about the Quran? Because he just mentioned the Old Testament.
Well, the Arabic tongue, I believe, is referring to the Quran.
But that's not. So this is where Allah just shows that he doesn't know. Okay, so if this is Allah speaking, he just showed everybody. He doesn't even know the original language that the Old Testament was written in. It's called Hebrew, Allah. Just so you know, we're telling you right now, the Old Testament, the Torah, the Navim, and the Ketubim was written in Hebrew. I'm sorry you don't know that, Allah. You just proved yourself to be a little god again.
Well, is there a chance that Muhammad actually thought all the biblical stories happened in Mecca?
I don't think there's any chance of that. I mean, unless, and I think Dr. Kufar's pointed this out, they told Muhammad some fake stories to see if he would fall for it.
Boy, he fell for it, hook, sink, and everything.
But again,
else.
there was nothing there in Mecca.
Yeah.
So Mecca didn't exist during this time. There's no proof that Mecca existed. I mean, if it did, there was no olive trees. All the descriptions they have in the Quran of Mecca don't fit. They fit Petra, but they do not fit Mecca.
Well, the problem is we don't really know what area Allah is talking about, because he never really says Mecca. There's one verse that says Mecca, M-A-K-K-A-H, and then there's one verse that he says Becca, and I think that's the one that's related to Abraham. B-E-K-A-H or something like that. Yeah. And they say that those two are ancient names of Mecca, which is bullcrap, because nobody knows where Mecca was until Islam came about. Okay, so 198.
No, wait. That's not totally fair to say they don't know about it till Islam came out. We're talking about hundreds of years after Muhammad was gone.
Well, I mean, Islam didn't come with Muhammad, so
yeah, that's the point.
Yeah,
people don't understand that. It wasn't Islam. People were called other things. There was no Mohammedans didn't come out till later. We heard about the Saracens during. We didn't hear about Muhammad. That's the point.
Yeah, 198. We had sent it down on some foreigner, so he had read it to them, and they were not to believe in it.
I think the problem here is the word if. If we had sent it down in some foreigner, but the problem is he uses past tense, and again, this is the foreign language learner problem. He doesn't understand, the correct tense to use. If he had, it should have continued. If he had read it to them, and they wouldn't believe it. But the foreign language, the second language learner doesn't know how to communicate.
Allah clearly doesn't know if he's coming or going.
No, and also, if he's talking about a clear Arabic tongue, how come we keep finding these words that have no meaning in Arabic?
That's because
this particular chapter was one of probably the nicer ones. It only had 4. All right, let's keep going. Okay, 200. Likewise, we have made it to enter the hearts of the criminals.
Made what?
The Quran? They will not believe in it until they see the painful torment. So it will come on them suddenly, and they do not feel. Okay, so they will say, we will be delayed. Delayed what?
Will we be delayed? Delayed from what?
I don't know.
And again, we have no communication to what he's what he's trying to put in people. This is the communication of a God who's claiming he has a clear Arabic tongue, but he's not communicating clearly. So either Allah has some serious communication issues. Maybe he's aphasic. I don't know. He has some serious problems.
All right, 204. Will they hasten in our tournament? I don't know what that means. Have you seen that we give them enjoyment for years? Wow, that's nice of Allah. And
I'm sorry, go back for a second. How many people do you know want to hurry up their torment? If you're going to be tormented, I guess you want to get it over with. But how many people want to rush towards it?
Certainly not me.
Well, apparently the people like it because it looks like they were warned about this torment and they did nothing about it. And they just kept going with the flow. So obviously they must have wanted it.
I think they didn't fear it is what it came down to, because they didn't believe that this Allah had a clear Arabic tongue.
206. It came to them what they were promised. We have no clue what they were promised.
What? Yeah.
Okay. It did not profit them what they were enjoying. We don't know what
I'm going to go back and I'm going to say the thing I've been saying for the past few weeks. All these are generalized statements, which is what is called con man language. Anything can be taken to mean anything here. There's nothing clear here. There's no specifics. That's important to understand.
It did not profit them what they were enjoying. Okay. We did not destroy a village except it had its warners. Again, Allah says one warner or one messenger, but now we're talking about he sends multiple people, because in Arabic, this word is plural, meaning at least 3. Okay, so he sends, okay, we did not destroy a village except it had warners, a reminder, okay, I guess a book, okay, and we were not unjust. Okay.
Sad.
Well, how many villages did Allah actually destroy?
We
Who
don't know.
knows? The only one that I know would be Sodom and Gomorrah. That's the only thing that
Well,
we
no.
can.
Ad and Thamud.
Ad and Thamud, right?
We don't know where those are because it's those are in Muhammad's imagination.
Yeah, and also
if he
the
wrote
people
the
that
Quran.
lived in the wood. The people that lived in the wood. I have no clue.
Yeah,
what
we don't know who they are either. Yeah.
What wood? There was no woods in Arabia and Mecca.
Yeah, can you tell me where the woods are in the desert?
I don't know. Oh, maybe we're in a little mirage with some date palms.
So his idea of woods might be 3 trees. Yeah. I didn't think of it that could be it.
All right.
Well,
the Quran defends itself. Yes, Larry.
If Allah keeps destroying all these people, that's probably why there's no trees there and it's a desert. He probably ruined the land by destroying all these people.
Could be. Okay, let's go on because we're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. We got 16 more verses to go. The Quran defends itself, claiming that it is not a satanic book. Also,
well, I got a question here. Why does a book need to tell people it's not a satanic book?
Well, I mean, why does Allah have to keep telling people that he's a god?
Or why does he have to keep telling people he's not bewitched? His prophets aren't bewitched. We just saw 2 of those.
Okay, so 210. And it was not sent down by the Satans. What was not sent down?
Allah's clear communication, because we haven't found anything clear.
Again, we are assuming that the reader of this book has no knowledge of the other books or knowledge of anything that's in this book. So as a reader, and I read, and it was not sent down by Satans, my question that's going to come to my mind is, what was not sent down by the Satans? Because if Allah wanted to be clear, then Allah would say, and the Quran was not sent down by the Satans. Now
we're back to the con man language.
Yeah.
The generalizing.
And they must not and could not. That doesn't make sense. Okay, 212. Surely they are separated from the hearing. That doesn't make sense either.
Yeah.
So do not call with Allah another God, so you will become of the tormented. Okay. And warn your nearest relatives, and lower your wings to those who follow you of the believers. What the hell?
Wait a minute. Who's he been talking to all this time that now they have wings? Has he been talking to humans? Has he been talking to, people we don't, and now all of a sudden they have wings?
I have no clue. Oh, so if they disobey you, so say, surely I am innocent of what you do, and depend on the dear, the merciful.
So okay, if they disobey you, surely I'm innocent. So these are angels that have done something, because he's revealed these. This is such a bad communication. You can't get much worse written stuff because you can't tell who it's written to. And now you get to a point where he's talking to angels. And it doesn't, even here it doesn't clear up. These generalizations are so bad. I'm telling you, you couldn't even get near a literary agent when you write this bad.
No, that's what I'm saying. The only thing that saves this book is that it's either published by Muslim publishers, or people are afraid to say no because it's supposed to be a holy book. It is a holy book full of holes.
Yes, that's the only kind of holes that this have. There's nothing pure. Holy is supposed to, with a Y on the end, is supposed to mean it's pure and godly, but it's not even close.
Okay, so 217, and depend on the dear, the merciful, who sees you when you stand up. So does that mean Allah doesn't see you if you sit down? He only sees you when you stand up. And when you change movement among the worshippers. So that's the only two times that Allah sees you, when you stand up or when you change the
Allah
the
can only tell you exist when you move.
Surely he is the hearing, the knowing.
I think Allah has some visual impairments.
Yeah, I know. Will I inform you about on whom the Satans descended? Okay. They descended on every sinful liar. They
I'm sorry. I want to go back and have another laugh. So, in the military, and they've developed these nice little tools that we now consider old, that you can tell from infrared if people are inside buildings. You can tell that they're inside the building if they're sitting down, if they're standing up, if they're lying down. So the average human with infrared, or their normal eyesight, can see better than Allah. Wow. Sorry.
Okay, so
220.
222.
All right.
They descended on every sinful liar. So that means the Satans descended on every sinful liar. They listen, and most of them are liars.
Hey, read that again. Read that again. Read 22 and 23 again.
I'm having a good laugh with that one. I'm sorry.
They descended on every sinful liar.
Okay, so the people that they send on, so every person that they descended on or whatever is a liar. Okay, now go to 23.
They listen, and most of them are liars.
So now only most of them are liars.
Good catch, Larry.
Okay, so every sinful liar. Wow.
So we went from every to most.
Again, bad, not clear. And he's delineating. I mean, he's lessening the extent of sin because they're liars. But isn't Allah the chief of deceivers? I mean, doesn't that make Allah? Yeah. The Satans. We have back there. We have the Satans. So we have more than one Satan. So again,
okay.
Yeah.
And the poets, they seduced. Oh, the seduced follow them. Okay, so the poets have power to seduce you.
So the thing that makes here is that the seers tell us the poets made fun of Muhammad because he was such a bad communicator, and he couldn't communicate a story, the whole story clearly, and everybody knew what parts of the story was missing. It's just like a guy can't tell a joke correctly; he's always missing something. And so the poets are making fun of him, and he doesn't like the poets making fun of him. So what does Allah do? He has him killed. I mean, Muhammad has him killed.
Have you not seen them wandering in every valley? No, I haven't seen anybody. And they say what they do not know.
Wait a minute. There's no valleys in the desert that I know of. I mean, so this can't be in a desert.
Allah's been taking some vacation. And they say what they do not know, except those who believed and did good deeds and remembered Allah often, and they had help after they were treated unjustly. That doesn't make sense. And they say what they do not know, except those who believed and did good deeds and remembered Allah often. It's almost like two sentences that don't belong together.
They say what they do not know, except they say what they do not know. Okay, let's put a period there. The punctuation was added afterwards, so we're gonna add our own period there. Except those who believed, and this doesn't make any sense.
No, I mean you can't put a period because then except would not. It wouldn't make
Yeah,
sense to start a
but it
sentence.
doesn't make
Except
sense by itself. I mean, even with it,
yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
no. Like I said, it's almost like two different thoughts were chained together.
Yeah.
Well, it
Okay,
actually says, say what they do not do, right?
Yeah.
So, doing is
We
an
got hypocrites.
action.
So this would be hypocrites. They say these are the hypocrites. They say what they do not do.
well,
That's,
kind of like they say one thing but they do the opposite.
yeah, this is bad communication.
Yeah.
Except those who believed and did good deeds. So so if we look at it that way, 226 is the hypocrites. And then you got 227, those who believed and did the good things. So these are not the hypocrites.
Okay.
And remembered Allah often. So 226 is the hypocrites. 227 is not the hypocrites. But
Okay, the
it's not
believers.
clearly expressed because it just seems so
Yeah.
archaic isn't even a good word to put it. And
Okay.
they
Okay. So they remembered Allah often, and they had help after they were treated unjustly. And those who act unjustly will know what outcome they will come to.
really,
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
that's
if
kind
you,
of
oh, hey, look, we're done.
oh,
Okay.
we're on to
Now,
the ants.
oh
The ants in
yes,
the pants.
yeah.
Oh, and
Oh,
then we got to start with a word nobody knows.
okay. Why isn't it? Why isn't?
I'll go to it.
You're going to, but my book here is not.
A word containing two
Oh,
Arabic
here we go.
letters without meaning.
There was a big white space here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So here's a nice little. I mean, the ants are so important that they have a chapter of them by themselves, and I think they probably have about 2 or 3 verses in here that talks about the ants. Okay, so we have TS. All right, so now I have to go to.
That's why I said it's a non-Arabic word that nobody knows what it means.
Yeah, and the next one is the narrative. Somebody's trying to call you on Skype. Okay, so now I can go back here.
Sorry.
Okay, TS, as Paul said, a word containing 2 Arabic letters without meaning. But then Allah contradicts himself. Those are the verses of the Quran and a clear book. But nobody knows what those 2 letters are. A guidance and good news to the believers. And who are those believers? Those who perform the prayer and bring the legal alms, and they in the hereafter, they are assured. Assured what? Allah likes to end sentences that are incomplete.
Well, hey, since this is a book of guidance and good news, does this mean that it's a different book than the books that warned the people?
I guess. Well, we're clearly demonstrating that the Quran is anything but clear. And Repent says, I'll put it up there. But gentlemen, you don't know how generous the Arabic language is. You're right, Repent, because one Arabic word can have a million different meanings depending on the context. So in the Quran, shit would not be shit. It could be something else. It could be a rose. Those who perform the prayer, but I thought Muslims perform 5 prayers a day. So what is this prayer? And they bring the legal alms. Again, this pops into my mind, illegal alms. And they in the hereafter, they are assured, but we don't know what they are assured. Surely those who do not believe in the hereafter, we adorn to them their works, so they are blind. Okay, how do you adorn people with their works? Those are the ones who will have the evil torment. And they in the hereafter, they are the losers. And surely you received the Quran from the presence of a wise, knowing. I believe this is the verse that in other translations says the Quran is the words of a noble man. So it's not the words of Allah. It's the words of A noble. Okay. That doesn't make sense. Surely you received the Quran from the presence of a wise knowing. Okay. Oh, here we go back to Moses. All right. The story of Moses is copied from the Bible, corrupted and repeated once again. The white hand of Moses is erroneously presented as one of the 9 plagues. When Moses said to his family, "Surely I have perceived a fire. I will bring you news from it." What does that mean? The fire is going to give him news? Or I will bring you a blazing brand. Okay. Blazing brand, that would be, what do you call it? Now I'm having a brain fart. A coal, a burning coal. Perhaps you warm yourself. So is Moses saying that he couldn't create fire and his poor family was freezing? That he needed to go get a blazing coal so that they can warm themselves? Okay. So when
I'm kind of wondered, is Allah confused here because he's not sure if he's going to bring a fire or he's going to bring a message out of this fire?
It sounds like he's not sure because, I mean, when you say, "Surely I have perceived a fire," okay, so he hasn't. I mean, so Moses doesn't see a fire, but he thinks he sees a fire. I will bring you news. I mean, apparently he sees this fire from distance and he's talking to his family. Or I will bring you a blazing brand. Perhaps you. This is really not clear. I think he's talking about the burning bush, but again, this is. I don't know how many bad ways Allah can communicate the story wrongly, but we're finding out that he keeps doing the wrong story over and over again.
So when he came to it, he was called. Blessed is he who is in the fire and those who surround it. And praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Now, who's talking here? Are these the angels? Blessed is he who is in the fire. Who is in the fire, ladies and gentlemen?
That would, I mean, if this is the person who's been in the fire would be God. So if they're saying, maybe they don't know Allah's supposed to be in the fire, but
I mean, it can't be Allah because Allah doesn't come down into his creation.
So when he came to it, he was called blessed is he who is in the fire. And this is really confusing. Yeah.
Now this is okay. So when he came to it, he was called. So this is this is referring to Moses.
Yes.
It's saying that Moses was called blessed is he who was in the fire, but Moses wasn't in the fire, and those who surround it, and praise be to Allah. I don't get the
part with so Allah seems to think, and this is against this is against Jewish law. But this is before Moses gets the law. Blessed is he who is in the fire. So Moses was never in the fire. Moses was alone. So I don't get this part. Those who surround it, and praise be, there was no Allah. Allah wasn't there. And you just said it. He doesn't come down.
Okay.
This is bad communication.
Oh, Moses.
Well, here he is. He's saying he is the fire. I mean, if this is Allah saying it.
Okay, so is this how God says, "Oh, Moses, surely I am Allah"? That indicates that maybe he's not Allah. Why wouldn't Allah just say, "Oh, Moses, I am Allah, the dear, the wise"? Surely I am Allah. That is not how God speaks. Do you see God speaking like that in the Bible?
Well, this is the God of perhaps. He doesn't know. Maybe Allah doesn't. Allah doesn't know when he's communicating like that. He's not sure.
Allah doesn't know if he's Allah, the dear, the wise. And throw down your rods. So when he saw it shaking as though it were a jinn, so now it's a jinn. I thought it was a snake.
Well,
he retreated back.
Wait, we're going back to the Allah, the God of perhaps. So perhaps it's a jinn, Or perhaps it's a snake.
And throw down your rod. So when he saw it shaking as though it was a jinn, he retreated backward and did not return.
So that's it. He's done. He's not coming back.
Moses said, "Hey, I'm getting the hell out of here, bro." Oh, Moses, do not fear. But how
Wait
are
a
you
minute.
talking to Moses?
He's not coming back. So who's?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how is Allah speaking to Moses when he hauled ass? Or maybe Allah is yelling at Moses. He's yelling at Moses.
On back. But Allah, Allah, bad news. You just said he didn't return.
Yes.
I mean, I get that if God is supposed to be omnipresent, but this little God isn't omnipresent.
Oh, Moses, do not fear. Surely the messengers will not fear in my presence, except for those who did injustice, then change, doing good after evil. So surely I am forgiving, merciful. And enter your hand in. Why not say and place your hand in your pocket? Seriously.
Put your hand in your pocket. Okay.
And enter your hand into your pocket. Allah doesn't know how to say and place your hand.
Okay, that's not what he. This is just so messed up.
I mean, do you think that in the 7th century, people would know the word place? Or put your hand in your pocket?
Okay. So in the Bible, Moses puts his hand into his breast area of his cloak, or whatever is covering him. Puts his hand inside this clothing and draws it out, and it's leprous. He puts his hand back in his, just like you think you have a jacket on. Okay, put your hand inside your jacket, so you just just so it's covered. Comes out, it's leprous. Then he puts it back in, and it's cleansed. It's healed. So
this gets funny when you get to like 13. Okay, so and enter your hand into your pocket. It will come forth white, without evil, as one of the 9 signs to Pharaoh and his people. Surely they were a transgressing people. Now, if he's talking to Pharaoh, I'm sorry, if he's talking to Moses, why is he talking to Pharaoh and his people in a past tense? As if it already happened. So when our signs came to their very sight, they said, "This is obvious sorcery." But wait a minute.
Now you're in present tense.
Yeah. And they disbelieved in them. But what signs? We haven't gotten to the signs yet. Like what signs? So it says 9 signs, and one of them was going to be.
So you got. So now you got a snake turning into a jinn. You've got.
We got a stick turning into. Well, no, it says.
Sorry, I mean you've got a rod turning into a jinn. I'm sorry, a rod turning into a jinn. You've got a hand turning into something white, which kind of doesn't make sense.
And that's one of the 9 signs. But I thought oh man.
I mean, I get when he doesn't know there's 10 plagues, but
okay, but the 10 plagues was not Moses putting his hand and it turning into leprosy.
And it didn't include the snake eating something, eating the other ones either.
Right. Those were not plagues. Those were just signs.
Yeah.
Well, Allah doesn't know the difference between a sign and a plague.
Well, he's a limited God. He just doesn't know things.
And they disbelieved in him, and their souls know it for certain.
Hey, can you go back up to 12 real quick?
I'm sorry, go back to where?
12. What does that mean? So when he put his hand in his pocket, it came forth white without evil. What the heck does that mean?
Well, I look at this as Allah doesn't understand the concept of leprosy. And leprosy would be what the Jewish people called unclean. So if you were leprous, you were to show yourself to a priest and... Oh, that's important. Okay, it will come forth white without evil. So Allah just doesn't get things. So Allah, I mean, this is again sign of a small mind.
Well, if it had something to do with leprosy, then Moses would have had to have leprosy, correct?
No, if it's without, this is just, I don't think Allah knows what leprosy is. I don't think he has a clue.
Yeah, clearly not. Because I'm pretty sure that even back in the days, they knew what leprosy was. It's in the Bible.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was in Arabia. That's the point. That's why I don't think they understand.
But I don't understand how this is involved in what Moses did here and how this means anything.
Well, it's just a small. Again, it's just another. It just shows how little Allah knows.
Well, Allah's trying to fill in the gap.
I
mean, he realized that the repetition is not enough, so he has to come up with some other stuff. All right, so when our signs came to their very sight, they said, "This is obvious sorcery," and they disbelieved in them, and their souls know it for certain. What do their souls know for certain? Unjustly and proudly. That doesn't make any sense. So look, how was the end of the Vandals? I don't know, how was it? Let's find out. Oh, we don't know what the end of the Vandals were.
I mean really, there's nothing here that tells us anything about the end of the Vandals. No. Who were the Vandals? It didn't tell us anything. I mean, how far up do we have to go to start seeing the word vandalize again?
I don't know. Okay. The story of David and Solomon is copied from the Bible and corrupted. This story is also found. Okay, the original story of Solomon is found in the Bible. 1 Kings 1:11. Note the myth about the birds comes from a book, the second Targumon of the Book of Esther, which identified the bird as a rooster instead of a hoopoe. Also notice the story of Esther is copied from the Bible in Kings 1, chapter 10, verses 1 through 10. Okay. And indeed, we gave knowledge to David and Solomon. Well, at least he got them in order. And they said, "Praise be to Allah, who has favored us above many of his believing servants. And Solomon inherited David." That doesn't sound good.
And wait a minute, you inherit a person?
Well, apparently you can.
Solomon inherited it. The word "from" is missing here.
Yes.
So if Solomon inherits his, that's really bizarre.
Okay, let me check and see what the okay, so we're in what, chapter 27,
16,
right?
27:16.
27:16. Let me see what the other translators say.
See, this is just another example of Allah not being clear. Clear as mud, maybe, but I mean, I've never heard of a human. I mean, you inherit. I mean, if you go back to the days of slavery, would that make David, who was the king?
Nope. That's what it says. And inherited Suleiman Dawood.
Wow.
Yep.
So that would make David a slave.
Now, at least Muhammad Assad, of course, he added a lot of stuff in there. Okay, and Solomon was David's heir. Okay, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
And Solomon was David's heir. Okay, that makes sense. And David was succeeded by Solomon. Okay, that makes sense. And Solomon was David's heir. Okay. But in the word for word, that's not what it says. It says, and inherited Suleiman Dawood. So basically, that is what Osama is saying here. And Solomon inherited David, and he said, "Oh, you people, we have been taught the speech of the birds, and we have been given from everything. Surely this is the manifest bounty."
Really?
So seriously, Solomon and David were given were taught the speech of birds. So that means they could speak to every single bird. And to Solomon were gathered his troops of jinn and humans and the birds. So they were spread until they reached the Valley of the Ants.
Okay, wait. Solomon were gathered to his troops of the jinn.
Yes, Solomon had an army of jinn and an army of humans and an army of birds.
Wow.
So the birds walked around with their little helmets and their little spears.
I just think they dive bomb human beings with their little poopers.
Yeah, they just pooped them to death.
Yeah, so it's just like you're going to New York City and all that. Yeah.
It's like when you go to the park and there's like a crap load of pigeons.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. New York City, because for that, or any city you go to, there's always.
So they reached the Valley of the Ants. So the ants have a valley, and ants said, "Oh, you ants, enter into your dwellings, lest Solomon and his troops crush you." And they do not feel. That doesn't make any sense. What does that mean? And they do not feel.
Do not feel what? I mean, they don't feel stomped on?
I get it. So he smiled, laughing at her, the ants. Actually, the word is ants not there. So he smiled, laughing at her sayings. Okay. And he said, "My Lord, inspire me to thank your grace, which is graced on me and on my parents, so that I do good deed that will be pleasing to you, and admit me by your mercy among the good servants." Okay. All right.
Okay, so the ant. What's this? "Oh, you ants, entered your dwellings, lest Solomon and his troop." Okay, so these ants rush into their dwellings so they don't get crushed. Who's smiling? Is this the ant?
No, that's supposed to be Solomon.
Okay.
Now,
Laughing at the ants, saying, "My Lord, inspire me to thank you, grace which you graced me and my parents, that I do good deed, singular good deed, that would be pleasing to you, and admit me by your mercy among." That's just so badly written. It's just
now here's a question. We see that Solomon and David were taught the language of the birds. When was Solomon taught the language of the ants? Because clearly he understood what the ant was saying to the other ants.
Well, are ants now birds? That's a good question.
I don't know.
I guess in Allah's dictionary,
they all speak the same
birds,
language.
Ants are included as part of birds.
Yeah.
Well, is that why Solomon has this army? Because he's going after the ants?
I mean, maybe that's the reason for having.
Read about the flying carpet.
Maybe that's the purpose of the birds. I mean, really, if you want to attack something with, yeah, it would make sense for the bird part of the army.
Okay, this is the story of the philosopher Hoopoe, the bird that talked and traveled the world. Man, everybody talks. Jeez. Wow. And he inspected the birds, and he said, "Why is it that I do not see the Hoopoe? Or was he of the absent? I don't know. Surely I will torment him with a severe torment." Man,
so Allah doesn't know where this bird is.
He's going to torment that poor bird.
Because he doesn't know where the bird is. Yeah.
"Or I will surely slaughter him, or he brings to me a manifest authority."
I think Allah wants a barbecue.
Could be. So he did not tarry long. So he said, "I have gained the knowledge that you do not know."
Oh, wait a minute. Did we just have a bird say that Allah doesn't know something?
No, he's talking to Solomon, that Solomon doesn't know.
Okay.
"I have come to you from Sheba," which is Sheba.
Okay. "With
sure news. Surely I have found a woman reigning over them, gifted with everything, and she has a great throne. I found her and her people worshiping the sun without Allah, and Satan adorns their works, so that he prevented them from the way, so they are not guided.
But wait a minute. Allah only guides whom he wills.
Yeah. So if
So
they're
whose
not
fault
guided,
is all that?
so if they're not guided, that's because Allah doesn't want them to be guided. Will they not worship to Allah, who brings the secret things of the heaven and the earth, and who knows what you hide and what you reveal?
The
Allah,
secret things of the heavens and earth. We're back to Gnosticism again.
Allah, there is no God but him, the Lord of the great throne. Well, Sheba has a great throne, so why does she care about Allah and his great throne?
Mm-hmm.
He said, we will see if you are truthful or you are among the liars.
Oh, we're back to talking about liars again.
Oh, Solomon has a book. Go with this book. Oh, I'm sorry. Go with this, my book. So throw it down to them.
Then turn away from them. So see what is throw. Okay, so Solomon's book is called. I mean, there's the Song of Solomon and there's a book of Proverbs. So he actually has two books. Maybe Allah doesn't know that.
Well, Allah only names 3 books in the Quran: the Sabur, which is supposedly the Psalms, the Torah, and the Injil. We don't know about the book of
But
Solomon.
Torah is the first 5 books.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know that.
And the Gospels are 4.
Yeah, he doesn't know that either.
Allah's kind of short-sighted and doesn't know things.
Go with this, my book. So throw it down to them, then turn away from them. So see what is their return.
It doesn't make any sense.
She. Number 3 would be the Queen of Sheba. So the Queen of Sheba said, "Oh, you, the leaders, a generous book has been thrown down to me." So the bird, he did a kamikaze on her. He just dropped a bomb on her. Surely.
Well, are you sure it's a bird that did that, or is that I was trying to figure out here. Is that a bird, or is this Allah dropping something on her?
It's supposed to be the hopo.
Okay.
He's dropping books.
Okay.
Oh, you leaders, a generous book has been thrown down to me. Surely it is from Solomon, and surely it is in the name of Allah, the merciful, the merciful.
Allah doesn't know that he said his name once. He has to. Yeah. Okay.
Do not exalt yourselves above me and come to me as Muslims.
Wait, were there any Muslims then? I mean,
I think
if this is way before, we're talking centuries before.
No, you're not talking centuries. You're talking probably over a millennium.
Yeah. So I mean, this is where it gets funny. If Muhammad's supposed to be the first Muslim, so how do you get more Muslims?
I don't know. I guess if you were to read the Arabic, it's going to say submitter. This is verse 31. Let me see what it says in the Arabic. Do not allow yourself to think that you're above me and come to me in submission. That is Safi Kakat. And do not exalt yourself against me and come to me in submission. Muslimin.
Yeah, Muslims.
I guess that means Muslim. So, and the
submitters are Muslims.
In the Arabic word for word, it says in submission, which I guess is
Muslims.
what Muslim means, to submit.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Oh, you leaders, consult with me in my affair. I was not to make any command unless you bear witness to me." None of this makes any sense. They said, "We are imbued with strength and are imbued with mighty valor, and the command is to you, so see what you command."
We don't even know what they're talking about. Okay. I'm not to make any command unless you bear witness of me. So she can't give a command. They said, we imbue you with strength and are imbued with mighty valor, and the command is to you. But she still doesn't. She still can't give a command because no command has been given to her to give.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is
She
so
said,
bad.
surely when kings enter a village, they vandalized it and made the noblest of its family to be humiliated. And likewise they do.
Okay,
Likewise they do
that's what Muhammad and his men did. They would go in, they would rob and pillage a village to the point where, I mean, the village chief, they would rape and the village chief's wife and daughters. They would kill all the men and then take everything. I mean, they would humiliate. Yeah, that's the noblest of men. I mean, they might make the men watch their wives and children being humiliated. I mean, maybe that's how they would humiliate them. But
okay, 35. Yeah. Okay, and surely I will send to them a gift, so I will see what the messenger will return. Okay. So when the bird, came to Solomon, he said, do you supply me with money? What the hell, man?
So a bird needs money? Oh, wait. Is Solomon asking who's talking here? Is it the bird or Solomon?
It's the bird, because it says, so when the bird came to Solomon, he said, so it should be the bird. Do you supply me with money? You know, it's not easy flying around here without any, money.
I want to know where he's going to put his money.
I don't know. So what Allah has given me is better than what he gave you, yet you rejoice in your gifts. That makes no sense. Return to them, for we will surely come to them with troops which they cannot withstand, and we will drive them from it humiliated while they are subdued. Sounds like the queen was right.
Oh, this is confusing.
Solomon requests that the kingdom of the Queen of Sheba and the jinn are brought to him in the blink of an eye. Bang!
Right now.
He said, "Oh, you, the leaders, which of you will bring me her throne before they come to me as Muslims?"
Submitters, yeah. Crazy.
Okay. Ooh. And a demon of the jinn said, now why couldn't Allah use demon? Why did he have to use an unknown Arab word? Oh, that's from the Persian, from the
Again, this makes more
Islamic
sense
origin.
if we're in Petra, this wording style.
Yeah. And a day and okay, first of all, a wouldn't.
Hello, Kufar, are you with us?
I'm with you.
Okay, I thought you dropped out. Okay.
I mean, no, still showing that I got good connection.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense. And demon? No. A demon of the jinn. Okay, never mind. Of the jinn said, I will bring it to you before you rise from your seat, and surely I am strong and faithful for it.
Faithful for what?
I guess for bringing whatever.
Why is anybody listening? Oh, I mean, Solomon wouldn't be listening to a demon, first of all.
Well, he does.
Wait. Is
they do in Islam?
This is just, yeah, that's true. There's no, I mean, this doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. Yeah. Solomon's supposed to be wise. He's not supposed to be seeking wisdom from demons. All right, we're to verse 40. Are you there? Hello? All right. And I can't hear you, Kufar. Verse 40. The one who had the knowledge of the books said, I will bring it to you before the blinking of your eyes. Wow, that is bizarre.
I wonder how many blinks.
That's a good question. The one who had the knowledge of the book said, I will bring it. It doesn't make any sense. All right. So when he saw it set before him, I'm guessing Kufar had the same problem. I've actually had my internet go in and out a lot lately, so I'm guessing that's what happened. So when he saw it set before him, he said, this is of the bounty of my Lord to test me, whether I will be thankful or become an infidel. This is the bounty of my Lord to test me, whether I will be thankful or become an infidel. So this is just it just shows Allah does not know who Solomon was, doesn't know any of his character. This is just bizarre. And who gives thanks, so surely he only gives thanks to himself. And who gives thanks? Bounty of my Lord to test me, whether I will be so yes, Solomon was rich. So the bounty is to test him. I thought it was to bless him, whether I will be thankful or become an infidel. So if he thanked God, okay. And who gives thanks? So surely he gives thanks to himself. And that doesn't make any sense. And who give thanks? We just said if he got the bounty to his wealth, his bounty was to test him, and if he gives thanks, he's not an infidel, right? And then he says, "Who gives thanks? So surely he only gives thanks to himself, who became an infidel." But I mean, it didn't need to be said. If you're giving thanks to yourself, there's nothing to give thanks to. If you have that kind of faith in yourself, something's wrong with you. You're probably talking about yourself in the third person, like Allah. So surely my Lord is rich and generous. Kufar, we need you to connect back up. All right. He said, disguise her throne for her. We will see if she be guided or become one who is not guided. So again, this is Solomon he's trying to disguise the throne of Sheba. Disguise her throne for her. Why would he want to do that?
Well, I also don't get why is he going to do it for her?
We will see if she will be guided so he's going to put a test to her. We'll see if she'll be guided. But you only get guided if Allah wants to guide you. So she doesn't have a choice in the matter. Allah said this over and over again. I only guide who I want to. So why is he putting a test for them to see if she's guided? It doesn't Allah know? If this he said is Solomon asking the question, okay, disguise her throne for, we'll see if she'll be guided or become one who, again, if she's guided, you don't become, I guess you become one who's not guided by simply reading the Quran, as we can see. Wow. So when she came, it was said to her, is your throne like this? She said it looks similar to it, and we were given the knowledge before her, and we were Muslims.
So what the heck is going on here? I don't even understand.
We don't know what happened to the throne. Some kind of disguise was put on it, and she doesn't recognize it as her throne. It just looks similar. And apparently the Muslims know that it's her throne. That's the disguise.
So what does this prove? This proves absolutely nothing.
It proves that they were able to put a little dressing on something and it doesn't look exactly the same. So she says it doesn't look like her. It looks similar. If you have a chair, you have a favorite chair, somebody comes around and they put a few little things on the chair. It doesn't look exactly like your chair anymore. A lot of guys have their favorite chair in the living room or someplace. I don't know. Do you have anything like that, Larry?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, somebody came along, took your chair, made it, gussed it up a little bit, made it look special, maybe refurbished it. Would you come along and say, "Is that mine?" I think you'd probably do a double take if they fixed it, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So,
But I don't understand what they're trying to prove by doing this.
well, it's really, it's small-mindedness is what I would say, because it's not even as tough a test as the test where they talk about a P, where they put in the middle of all these beds, mattresses, a princess would sleep on. If she's a real princess, this is just, yeah, it's not even good enough for a fairy tale. Wow. I'm just gonna go on. Verse 44. It was said to her, "Enter the Sar." Let me just check what that is. Tower, non-Arabic word, or Ethiopian.
I've been talking to myself all this time.
We wondered what was happening.
I was reading because remember, I'm in a different screen. So
yeah, that's why. Okay, I was telling people, I think just this the way this goes. Sometimes life takes it out. Yeah.
Now
I've done that. I've done it.
Did I
We're
get to
down
the
here? We're on 44.
Oh man, I finished. I was reading Lot and everything.
We're down here.
So, oh man, I read all of this and I wasn't even on the show.
Okay. So we were laughing about this because the question is, Larry asked a good question. I just said it's not even a good fairy tale. This test, it's not even a good fairy tale. But that's why nobody will repeat any of this stuff in here and call them fairy tales, but because they're so bad. So when she saw it, she thought, we don't even, okay, what she was worshiping without Allah prevented her. Surely she was among an infidel people. It was said to her, "Enter the." What did I just say? It was. What was Sar Gufar?
I'm sorry.
What was number 5, Sar?
Oh, number 5 was a tower.
A tower. Enter the tower. So when she saw the tower, she thought it was a pool of water and uncovered. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you think a tower is a pool of water? Oh, it's a place covered, a place. This still doesn't make sense. Surely it's a place paved with glass. A tower, that doesn't make any sense. Allah has a really bad eyesight is all I can think of. Or, I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
And what was she showing a little leg for? Was she going to try to go in the pool, I'm assuming?
I don't know.
Now I think Paul froze.
He said, "My Lord." I'm here. He just does. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. It just doesn't make sense. It's just.
And it really sucks because I went from 44 all the way to like 60. I was saying the same thing. A tower is now a palace. And all this time I was talking to myself. Hey, Larry, can you hear me?
I can, but it looks like Paul's froze again.
Paul looks like Shaitan got to him now. Oh, so where did he leave off? On 44?
Yeah, we're right there at the pool of water and uncovered her legs.
Oh, okay. I can't believe that I read all of that stuff and I wasn't even on the show. Yep. Paul dropped. All right, let me get my screen up so I can share my screen. There's Quran. All right, let's share that. All right, he's back. Okay.
I'll put it back up. Is this just crazy? I don't know. I think the show's being attacked. That's my personal thoughts, but.
Well, first it was me talking for like 10 minutes. And I didn't even notice that I was like, man, it's too quiet back there. Why is nobody talking?
Hey, am I late?
Hey, Leah.
Well, I mean, we got about 15 minutes, so I don't know if you would consider that late.
I got that all timing.
Oh,
all right. We've been laughing about, and we just suffered through internet issues from Kufar just had some, and then I had some just following. So I'm guessing somebody's trying to attack the system, but that's my look at it. But we just looked at the imaginary test that doesn't make any sense. We don't know what she was really tested for. We're going on to verse 45.
so basically, all we've done is repeat stories.
Yeah, that's exactly what it did.
Okay, 45. Okay, man, I had a good time. I was reading this, and I wasn't even on the ship. Okay, this is the story of Tammuz as invented by Muhammad and is repeated again. Okay, which we read this before. And indeed, we sent to Tammuz their brother Saleh. That
Wait a minute. Before, Tammuz didn't sense. Okay, they didn't send Saleh. Before, Saleh was the brother who wasn't sent. You remember that? It was up.
I can't. I always Tammuz. Okay.
Okay, let's go back up to Tammuz.
No, I think it says their brother Saleh.
Yeah, their brother, but it doesn't say. I mean, it implies he wasn't the one that was sent. It was in 26, wasn't it?
Was it in this? Was it in this chapter or the other one?
It was in the last chapter.
Yeah.
Hey guys, just give Muhammad a break. He doesn't remember,
I know.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
All right.
Let's see. Okay. And indeed, we sent to Tammuz their brother Saleh, that you serve Allah. So they became two groups quarreling. He said, "Oh, my people, why do you hasten with the evil before the good? Were it not that you ask forgiveness from Allah, perhaps you will receive mercy." Yeah, I'm okay. 47. They said, "Is our bird with you and those who are with you?" I'm like, "What bird?" Now they got a bird. He said, "Your bird is with Allah." The poor bird died. Allah's having a bird for dinner.
I told you I wanted a barbecue earlier.
I know. Yet you are a people who are seduced.
Seduced how? What? And what did they do?
I don't know. And there was in the city 9 persons who vandalized in the land and did not reform.
What did they do? Nobody tells us.
I don't know. Apparently they like vandalizing, but there was only 9. They said, swear one to another by Allah that we will surely fall on him and on his family by night. I guess they're planning to
attack. Whose family?
I guess they're talking about the family of Salah. Then we will tell his guardians, we did not witness the destruction of his family, and surely we are truthful. Now, why would you say you did not witness the destruction of his family? How would you know that that there was destruction of his family if you weren't there?
Swear to one another that we will surely fall on him and on his family by night. Then we will tell his guardian we did not. Wait, you did it, but you won't admit to it.
But they're indirectly admitting, because how would they know of the destruction of the guy's family if they weren't there?
So this is total deceit. They're there.
Yeah.
They're the ones doing the murder.
Yeah.
And then they're not owning up to it. We didn't see nothing.
Okay.
So this is a good practice of being as deceitful as Allah.
Oh my God. I read that story. I read this one. I read Lot. And I didn't even know I was men deceive, and Allah is also a deceiver. And they deceived a deception, and we deceived a deception. And they did not feel. They did not feel what? So see, how was the end of their deception? We destroyed them and all their people. So their houses are ruins because of their injustice. Surely in this is a sign to a knowing people.
Wait, so deception is a sign, or is the houses that are ruins? I mean,
I'm assuming
I'm seeing
he's talking
Allah's
about
deception as a sign to the people. Don't trust this guy. Don't trust this fake God.
Yeah, the houses are signs of ruin. And we delivered those who believed, and they were fearing. All right. The story of Lot is copied from the Bible, corrupted and repeated once again.
Oh,
And
one thing
Lot,
on 53, it looks like Allah is back to delivering the believers.
Oh,
So before he was right.
You're right. Good catch.
Yeah, before he was killing the believers with the non-believers. Okay, we read that already. Okay, Lot. All right, and Lot, when he said to his people, "Do you come to the indecency while you see? Do you come to the men in lust instead of the women? Yet you are an ignorant people." So the answer of
Lot's being accused of homosexuality?
Yep. No, not Lot. He's accusing the people.
Okay.
So the answer of his people was not, except they said, "Cast out the family of Lot from your village." Now, why wouldn't they say from our village?
Your village. So the answer of the people was not except. Yeah,
So
this is Essel issue again. They don't know the difference between your and our.
Aren't these Lot's people?
Cast out the family. No, they would not be. Okay, so if we're talking about Sodom or Gomorrah, so I see what you're saying. They just said it's his people. Oh my gosh,
They surely are purified humans. Okay. So, okay.
What's a purified human? I mean, I haven't.
I don't know.
I mean, I get today. People will call themselves. I mean, when they haven't got the jab, they'll call themselves purebloods. I mean, that makes a little bit more sense today, but back then it still doesn't make sense.
But here's a funny one. Remember, in the other chapter, it was an elder that was left behind.
Because, yes, that's right.
Because she was a little slow. The elder, Tari.
The elder of the woman, of the ones delayed, right?
Yeah. Okay, 57. So we delivered him and his family, except his wife.
Okay, wait. Wife is in brackets, so there's no wife there.
Right. It just says except his woman. We decreed her of the lingered.
So does that mean it went from his wife to the elder
to the woman?
To a woman.
The woman.
Well, actually, I don't think it ever says wife.
Yeah. Probably not.
The wife is just Osama.
The woman he had sex with.
And we rained a rain on them. So evil is the reign of the warners. Now this is a repetition.
Be careful, that rain might hurt you.
Say, the praise be to Allah and peace on his servants that he has chosen. Is Allah good, or what they partner with him, or what they partner? I don't know. Is the one who created the heavens and the earth and sent water down to you from the heaven, so that we cause the gardens of delight to grow by it?
Water's good for the gardens of delight.
Until he's killing you with the water.
Until he's killing you with water from,
I mean, he's either drowning you or he's pelting you to death with water.
It's kind of, evil is the reign of the warners. Isn't this again, I keep saying this, people, you got to think about this guy living in the desert, and when they have when it rains, there's a flash flood. This is the guy with a small mind. If he lives in the desert, that's why he's thinking like this.
Okay.
But it's kind of, small mind.
Makes sense. And okay, in the earth, okay, and sent water down to you from the heavens, so that we cause the gardens of delight to grow by it. It was not for you to grow its trees. What?
I have no idea.
Is Allah saying that the water was not for you to grow the trees?
I don't think Allah knows water's needed for trees.
Is there a God with Allah? I don't know. Yet they are people who are transformed. What do you mean they are people who are transformed
into what?
I thought we were talking about Lot.
I'm really confused at this point.
Lot's people were transformed. I thought it was the Jews that were transformed into
pigs and
pigs
apes.
and apes. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's talking about yet they are people who are transformed.
And we don't know even what he's talking about.
Is the one who made the earth a resting place and has made rivers and its mist and made stabilizers on it and made a barrier between the two seas?
What does that mean?
Stabilizers. We were talking about flat Earth before, and
that makes no sense. This is not a complete thought.
Is there a God? Yeah, most of them don't. Most of them don't know. We don't even know what this passage is about, much less Allah making any sense whatsoever. Most of them, it's impossible to know what Allah wants to communicate because he's just as clear as mud. I'm sorry. He keeps saying it's clear, but it's not.
Yeah, that's too much. I don't think we're going to make it down there. Is there a God with Allah? Didn't he just ask this right here? Yeah, he just asked him, is there, he just finished verse 60.
Okay, up verse 61 is there a God without? Look, it's right here. Oh. And then you go down.
And then we go down to the next.
I'm trying to find the mouse. Is there a God without? I don't think Allah knows. There is. I mean, sounds like he wants a date. Come on. It sounds horrible.
Why
is
would
there a God with Allah? Is there a God without? He just keeps repeating himself over and over again.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. You got, is there a God with Allah? 1. Okay. And then you got, is there a God with Allah? 2.
Yeah, most of them. Okay, take a look. Yeah, most of them do not know.
In 2 different verses. One verse right.
Okay, but yet most of them do not know. And then we go, little is what you remember. That's not much different.
Okay.
Is the one who answers the distress, is the one who guides you in. Oh my gosh. This guy is so. The author has such small vocabulary. It's just sad. We only got like 4 minutes too far.
And okay, let me just finish 62. Is the one who answers the distressed, if he calls him and removes the evil and makes you to be viceroys on the earth? Is there a God with Allah? Again, he repeats. So now this is 3 verses. 60, 61, and 62 ask the same question. Is there a God with Allah? I don't know. Little is what you remember.
Well, see, that part's the same here as also. Little is what you remember is, yet most of them do not know. Yeah. I mean, it's very much the same. It's almost repeating that verse.
And okay, so we'll pick up on 63, 20. Okay. I mean, what we learned in 60, Leia dropped off again. Okay. What we basically learned in the chapter prior to this one is that Allah likes to copy and paste.
Copy and paste. I guess you know the one thing I can say for Allah, he's created copy and paste before it's done.
She said the baby was crying. Okay.
He steals from himself.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to answer, or I should say, I'd like to ask you a question. Did you learn anything in chapter 26? No, I didn't. I learned one thing. Allah likes to copy and paste the same thing for every one of his prophets.
It's because he's got a limited vocabulary.
Noah said the same crap. Hud said the same thing.
Yep, you can see it over and over
said the same thing.
We saw it over and over again.
Shuaib said the same thing.
Yep.
Lot said the same thing.
It says something.
I'm pretty sure Abraham probably said the same thing.
This is a small God that just doesn't have a creative bone in his body. Can't say anything to himself. I mean,
it's almost like Allah gives them a script. Okay, and they're just repeating the script. Right? Now, what are the odds of every single prophet that, since they didn't come at the exact same time, what's the odds of every prophet saying exactly the same thing as the prior prophet?
Sorry, that's not going to work. It's
I mean,
not gonna work.
how would they even know what the prior prophet said?
Oh, okay. Put up Marion's statement. Did I learn something? Can I have 3 options? Yes, no, and absolutely not.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And what did Darcy say? Every single person in the Quran is Allah. He is playing many different parts.
Again, very limited mindset, very limited vocabulary, and he's using Arabic as a second language speaker.
I think Shaitan is squeezing him.
Nope, I hear Paul.
You hear Paul?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't hear Paul. I hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you, Paul, but I don't think Kufar can.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know, the interesting part is I couldn't hear you, but I could hear Larry.
Oh, wow.
And Larry could hear you. So today's been a very interesting,
Let's hear it for StreamYard today.
And I can tell you, I never lost the internet, so I have no clue what happened.
I didn't either.
Yes. All right.
Hey, I have to admit that I did learn something today. I did not know, was it Solomon and David learned the language of the birds?
Yes.
I did not know that, so I am happy I learned something.
And apparently Solomon also learned the language of the ants because he can understand what the ants said.
That is not.
And it must have been a huge ant because he saw the ant.
Can you imagine? I mean, hearing a voice from a little thing like that. I mean,
I probably wouldn't even notice the darn thing. I mean, unless it was like an anthill or something.
Yeah, it would be pretty. Yeah, it's bad.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna call it a night. Hopefully tomorrow. You want to do one at 3, Paul?
Yeah, we could do 1 or 3. I can put one out. Yep.
Okay, so stay tuned to 3:00 tomorrow. I guess that'll be the slot for Crossing the Crescent.
Yes.
You can play the intro. Soldier or Fire Ants. I don't know. Could be. We don't know. But anyway, God bless you guys and gals on the chat. Thank you, moderators, for coming in. Yeah. Well, yeah. Good night. I think I'm gonna jump on Clubhouse, see what's going on. Okay, so we'll see you tonight. I'm sorry?
I didn't see any bots or trolls.
Hey, it doesn't happen very often, but we get to enjoy it when it's quiet.
Yeah, they probably didn't want to read all that copy and paste, though. They probably said, "Man, these guys aren't talking about anything interesting. There's no sex involved tonight." So,
well, there was. We did have some sex involved tonight because Allah can't keep. Yeah, Allah's such a pervert; he can't leave it alone.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, Marion, you get some sleep. Okay, guys, I'm going to end the broadcast. See you guys tomorrow at 3:00. Okay, let's end that. Okay. One of these days, this pattern.